All right, what's up, guys? Today we are going to be talking about drop shipping using Shopify or just drop shipping in general versus Amazon, FBA, private labeling, and what seems to be a better choice in 2018. And we're going to talk about all the pros, all the cons. And I brought on a good friend of mine, a business partner of mine as well, Chris Schaefer. Chris, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, brother. It's always a blast to be on hanging out with you.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do this with you because you do have a background in drop shipping, some clients that you've definitely worked with in the past, and you've dabbled in it yourself. So, I still see people talking about drop shipping, and I mean, going way back in the day, I'm talking probably like 6, 7, 8 years ago, it was the hot thing, kind of like Amazon is now, is kind of how I see it. And what I really want to talk about though is like, back then, the margins were really slim. And right now, I think the margins are probably even a little bit slimmer, depending. But I'm speculating. So what I want to do is, because we are seeing a lot of advertisements, whether that's on YouTube, whether that's on Facebook, like, hey, let me show you how I can, find this one item, drop ship it. You never have to touch it. You never have to buy inventory, and you can go ahead and start a business tomorrow, and you will start getting money in your account in the next 3 days. Right? Like, let me show you how I did that in 3 days and my Lamborghini's behind me. So that's what we're talking about today. So what do you want to kind of dig into here first? Because I think, let me ask you this. Is drop shipping still an option for people that want to get started selling products online?
Absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing, Scott. Like, there's a couple different variations of it that you hear people talking about. Now, it can still work. It's also a lot harder than it used to be. And if you're really good at some things, it might be easier than it used to be, right? Like if you're a Facebook ads ninja, it might be easier than it used to be. But here's the thing that's kind of been consistent throughout time, right? Margins are an issue. When you're doing drop shipping, you're essentially a wholesaler, right? So, Scott, let's say you sell furniture. You're a furniture manufacturer, and I want to sell furniture online. If you're willing to ship directly to the customer, I can put your couch on my website, sell it to somebody, and then you ship it. So I don't ever have to touch it, right?
Right.
Sounds like a dream. I don't need inventory. All I'm doing is driving traffic and making money. The problem with that is you're making a much lower margin than you would with something like a private label product selling on Amazon, right? I might make 30% when everything's said and done on a couch, but I also have to deal with all of the customer service. I have to deal with the shipping. I have to deal with all of that kind of stuff, right? And in that case, we're talking about a high-end product. So 30% doesn't sound so bad, right? 30% on $1,000 is $300. So I have $300 that I take back in profit, but I also have to run the ads that drive the traffic. I have to pay for somebody to do customer service or do it myself. I have to handle all of the customer care and customer acquisition and take the phone calls from people who didn't get their couch and all of those kinds of things. That can work, but it's not generally as scalable as something like private label on Amazon. Now, the other thing that we hear people talking about, that side of dropshipping, Scott, is not usually what people are talking about with something like Shopify. If you're going with higher end products, it can work. It can still be a struggle, right? My background is driving paid traffic, and that's usually what we ended up doing because you have to acquire all of the customers. Unlike selling something on Amazon, where Amazon already has the customers, it's a search engine for buyers. We're just putting it in front of people, right? Drop shipping is not like that. But the other side of things that people talk about is drop shipping products directly from Alibaba or from AliExpress, right? And that's really what people ask us. And people ask us all the time, should I do this drop shipping thing where I hook a Shopify store into AliExpress and I just list a bunch of products related to cats and then advertise the cat people on Facebook and I'll make $1 million. You can do that, but it's very unlikely. The other thing is, especially in drop shipping, one of the biggest hassles, like I said, is customer service. And when you're drop shipping something from China to an American customer, you're talking 7 to 10 days because it's going to get shipped by sea at a minimum, right? And that can cause a lot of major customer service headaches. So you're going to get a much higher return rate. You're going to get all of those kinds of things. I don't want to give people the wrong impression that drop shipping can't work or doesn't work at all. But it's really not the way that I would suggest building a business. You have much smaller margins, you have a lot less control, and it takes a lot more work up front to get the products up and selling. That's the reason, Scott, you and I have talked about, we love Shopify as a platform. We love building our brand site on something like Shopify or WooCommerce, which works with WordPress. But we're not going to be drop shipping products from China to do that, because we're going to bankroll all of that effort and all of the learning curve and all of the traffic driving by selling our private label product on Amazon. And we don't have to deal with the customer service headaches. We have higher margins, and it brings that money in a lot faster. We're not trying to learn lessons and build things at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Here's what I want to address is, okay, you're talking about a couch that you could possibly make $300 on. If we can make $300 on a sale, that does open up a lot more ad spend money that we can drive with, right? That we can drive, traffic with. And then we're talking about now you also are learning the traffic game. Okay. Now I'm not saying that you don't want to learn the traffic game, because I think that you definitely do. But it's like you said, Chris, it's like you're starting something like from scratch. A lot of people think that they're going to build a website or have a website built and traffic is just going to come in because they've keyword optimized for Google, or they created a couple YouTube videos and traffic is going to flood in, and they're going to get free traffic. You're talking about driving paid traffic, which I'm a fan of, and then getting it to convert. So maybe that doesn't convert right away, but how much money can you drive and still be profitable? That's really what it comes down to. So if you have $300 to play with, you've got a better chance of succeeding with that business model than if you have something that you're selling for $20 and you might make $3, right?
And that's really the difference there, right? If you're doing it and you're sold on dropshipping and that's the thing that you want to do, I would tell you right now, look at higher end products, right?
Yes.
Don't look at selling $15, $20 things using Facebook ads, right? Because you're going to have 30% on $20 is what, Scott, $6? So you have $6 to handle shipping and customer service and the ad spend, right? Which means you have $6 in total margin that you can use to acquire and keep that customer. That is a massive difference from something like $300, right? Now, if I can make $6 on Amazon and not have to handle the customer service, even though I have to have the inventory up front, it makes a lot more sense to me because I don't have to deal with the shipping. I don't have to deal with any of that. I'm making $6 in profit, not $6 or in net profit, not in gross profit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When we sell something through dropshipping, like a $20 product, and we make $6, we also have to cover shipping and customer service. When we sell something on Amazon and make $6, we make $6. Right. Does that make sense?
Right. Well, and okay. So going back to, like the pros and cons, like can drop shipping work? Yes. Can Amazon FBA private label work? Yes. You just have to pick, I guess, the path or, the different learning curves that you want to go down. Okay. If you want to learn how to drive traffic, that's fine. I still think that you could, and it would probably be better for you to start. This is my own opinion, by the way. This doesn't mean that this is right, but I prefer to launch on Amazon with my own products. Okay. And then what I could do is I can still learn the traffic game and I can drive my traffic to a landing page, collect an email, do the whole follow-up thing, and then try to get them to even go over to Amazon and buy my products. And then it will also organically start to help me rank over there. Once you make one sale, like say it's with that couch, and you make that one sale, yes, you have that customer information, and that is really cool, but you really have nothing else that's going to help you get. So if you sold that couch on Amazon, you would have a chance of also ranking and getting natural sales eventually that you're not paying for. And that's really, you've got the customer service stuff to think about. You've got prime shipping that people are like, oh, wow, I've got my Amazon card on file, just prime shipping. I'm going to get my stuff. I just ordered before we got on here. I ordered these markers for my whiteboard. They're going to be here in a day. I paid nothing. I paid $16 for the markers, but I paid nothing for shipping and handling. They're going to be here in a day. So I'm going there. Like that's going to be what's going to be happening. But now this is another thought and kind of thinking on the fly here, but maybe you want to dabble in the drop shipping and you could still do that alongside your private labeling to test other products, because like you said, Chris, it's a little risky because you're selling other people's products. You're technically wholesaling in a sense, right? But what you could do is you could test that by if you wanted to drive some traffic and stuff, or maybe you already have an email list built and you want to test other products, you could just do some drop shipping there and see if those products would sell. If they will, then you might want to go ahead and switch it out with your own products and sell them on Amazon and kind of do that whole thing. Kind of like what we talked about as far as like taking your Amazon Associates account and just using even your competitors' products that you will eventually will be selling, but you're not selling yet, and testing the market before you actually have to invest in the inventory and lay out that kind of cash. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it can't work. It totally can. Any of these business models can work. Will it work in 30 days? I would say probably not. That's what I would say. I mean, you've got to be a crazy like ads expert that is going to be able to dial things in. And I think even the people that know the ad platform and Facebook and all that stuff, they still, in their minds, they are not going to be profitable for at least 30 to 60 days. And they know what they're doing. It's a lot of testing. What audience is going to convert? What offers do we want to put in place there? If they don't buy, what do we send them to nurture them? Like all of these things go into that side of like not just making the one sale. It's not like you're putting up an ad in front of someone, they're going to instantly buy and you make money. Yes, that can happen, but it's going to take some time to get to that point. But you're also going to have to build up a follow-up sequence that's going to also nurture them, give them more information, more touch points. I mean, we always talk about like, what's it, 6, 7 touch points before you actually really make a decision with a company. It's the same idea. So that's what I'm talking about. So if you're thinking about either one, that's fine. Pick one, go with it, learn it, but understand that both of them are going to have their struggles. They're not going to be just like turn a key and everything's going to magically happen. And anyone that's telling you that, I would say probably go the other way because they're not being honest with you. I'm trying to be as honest as I can with you. I think it all can work. It's just a matter of what one do you want to start with and which one do you want to grow with.
The thing that just popped into my head here, Scott, because you and I get this question all the time, and people are going to say, "Oh, you guys are biased because you do Amazon FBA." But here's the deal: the reason that dropshipping is really does appeal to people is you are told that you need no money up front, right? With Amazon FBA, you need to buy inventory. If you're going to do private label, you need to buy inventory, right? But with dropshipping, you do still need money up front. You have to build a website, which takes time and takes money, right? Especially if you're using Shopify, there's a monthly fee attached to that, all of those kinds of things, right? Yeah, 30, 40 bucks, not a big deal. Right. But then you have to learn how to drive paid traffic. That is not an inexpensive thing, right? No. With Amazon, if you do your product research correctly, you're investing that, what, Scott, $1,500 to $5,000 up front.
Yep.
And you know that the product is going to sell. With something like dropshipping, you could easily spend $1,500 on traffic and get nothing out of it other than some lessons learned, which is fine. But a lot of people put the myth out there that there's no money involved up front. And if you have some magical traffic source that will drive you traffic for free, I would love to hear about it. But as far as I know, there isn't just this magical thing where traffic shows up that's ready to buy out of nowhere, right? It's a time or money investment to get those things done. And we would prefer to see that people invest that into inventory that they know is going to sell. Now, Scott, like you said, dropshipping absolutely does work. I saw a great case study the other day of a guy who was selling those dog masks after the NFC Championship game. And he saw that the Eagles won. And so he went and he actually bought a whole bunch of them from a Chinese supplier. And he sold like $20,000, right? But guess what? They're not selling anymore, right? So like you can do drop shipping with trendy kind of stuff. Yeah, that might work. But he was also spending a metric boatload on Facebook ads and he knew what he was doing. He actually teaches a drop shipping class, right? So like he knows what he's doing. He's not just some guy that was like, oh, I can sell these things. Right. On Amazon, if you do your product research correctly, you're going to have something that's going to sell consistently and you don't have to worry about the customer service and you know what your margins are and all of those kinds of things. Now, Scott, the other half of this that I would say is Shopify is a cool platform and you can build on it. I would say never be single channel dependent. And that's one of the reasons we like people to find, source, and launch their own products. We say launch with Amazon and then expand into the other stuff. What we want for people is for you to build a real business, right? We want you to have something that is going to be a long-term sustainable asset so that you can get either to achieve your why or you can get to a place where you can sell it and that might help you get to what your big why is, right? We want you to have an asset that you can leverage into other things. And when you're just doing drop shipping with trendy products, you're making thinner margins and it's not something necessarily that you could even resell for the same amount of value, right? If you look, Scott, at something like Empire Flippers, straight up drop shipping sites get a much lower multiple than something like a private label brand.
Sure.
And
absolutely.
For me, as someone who looks at businesses, I would not be comfortable with a business that's built 100% on drop shipping because a supplier can change their mind at any point, right? You can lose the traffic source that you have. You can run into customer service headaches that can shut you down as a business or can shut you down from a specific supplier. And then you lose 30% of your sales, right? All of these things have happened. And when we're single channel dependent, whether it's single channel meaning drop shipping or single channel meaning Amazon FBA, we lose the ability to have that long-term sustainable asset. So, for me, it's find and source that product however you want to get started and then expand into the other things. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And, there may be people that are already drop shipping right now. I know of people that are drop shipping and that are moving away from drop shipping because of those headaches, right? Because they're like, I've already identified the market that I want to sell in. I'm selling products. I've got a customer list. I'm just going to go ahead and sell products to them, but my own products. So that to me shows me that they've already been there. They've already done it. It sounds really great, right? You just plug everything in and then you get an order and then someone sends it to your customer through their warehouse because it's drop shipped. But like you said, you still have to handle all of that other stuff. And the big one is your traffic source. One of the big draws for us starting on Amazon, and I keep highlighting starting because it doesn't mean you have to stay there. And I don't recommend that you just stay one channel. But it's a great place to go because the traffic is there. Like all we have to do is get in front of the traffic. So now we just have to learn about how to optimize and how to have a good product, how to find low competition products. Like, so this way here we can rank, low reviews, like all that stuff that we talk about. That's all we really have to worry about. The other side of things, we have to worry about, number one, can we get the traffic to convert that we are buying? And then from there, if we can, that's great. What's our margins after everything is said and done? And then you learn something like, let's say Facebook ads, and then they change something and then you were converting, but now they have a new thing that they're including in their Facebook ads manager or whatever. And you've got to kind of reconfigure things and reset things and metrics and all of that stuff. So it's just, to me, it's all about where do you want to focus? And to me, one of the biggest things is finding a place that you can really just focus on product and then the market that you are going after and serving more products to that market. And starting on Amazon to me is the simplest way. And let's face it, people are becoming really, really comfortable and they feel safe. I was watching the other day, it was in between, it was a commercial that was on and we were eating dinner. I was watching MLB or something and up came a commercial for a product and they were selling it on Amazon and they had the Amazon logo, which I go, that might be terms of service, but they basically had an Amazon logo on the bottom. And it was basically saying like, we can be found on, and they use their logo. Don't know. Yeah, it's a little borderline, right?
Okay. If you say found on, that's usually okay.
I still would be a little
publicity.
Well, yeah, that's good. But forget all that. They're still telling people, go there, buy it. You're feeling though it's safe. And if it's being sold on Amazon, you automatically think then it's legit and it's possibly a good product and all that stuff. I could buy with Prime. Like I'm always thinking that now. I don't know about you, Chris, but I'm always thinking like, can I buy it on Amazon? Like before I even go anywhere, I'm trying, can I buy it on Amazon? And if I can, that's cool because I'll get it within a day or two and I'll get it for free. Basically, I'm always getting the free shipping.
I think there's two things that well, I know there's two things that just popped into my head, but I think there's two things that people need to understand. One, Amazon is kind of the default for everybody. So to make something work, you have to be either a specialized resource, which Amazon is not, right? So there's two kinds of customers. Got people who know what they want and people who think they know what they want, but aren't really sure, right? And if someone just says, I want a vitamin C supplement, they're not going to go to Google, click on an ad, go to your website and go, oh, I'm buying from ScottyVsVitaminC.com. They're going to go to Amazon, right? Just by default. Amazon has the vast majority of that traffic. But when you're talking about something that they need to do research into, right? And again, let's go back into vitamin C. I have some sort of medical condition. I'm not sure if my vitamin C supplement is going to interact poorly with my medication. I'm going to go to Google and see what kind of vitamin C I should be taking, right? It's at that point that we as a brand or as a drop shipper that we can capitalize on that opportunity, right? You're not going to be able to compete at scale with Amazon for the first type of customer. You have to be able to start to build a brand. And the reason that we tell people to launch on Amazon is because we automatically get that first kind of customer when we can source and launch products on that Amazon platform. We then get the opportunity to go after that second kind of customer by saying, okay, let's write some blog content. Let's build an e-commerce store where we can actually explain it. And Scott, you and I have talked in the past, our buddy Joel refers to Amazon as the lowest common marketing denominator, right? You can't really sell your product on Amazon. And when you hear people talking about marketing and features and benefits and like all the cool stuff that it does for you, on Amazon, it comes down to price, pictures, bullets, and reviews, right? But if you have a really cool brand story and you want people to be able to resonate with that, that's where that second kind of customer comes in. And if you can start to build your brand and you're on Amazon, then you get both. And you can't really do that with drop shipping. The other thing I would say is I would not drop ship with Amazon. That seems like a great way to get your account banned. But that's just me. Because the other headache that you run into is you don't ever know what inventory the supplier actually has. Because somebody may have just sold one and their system isn't updated, unlike something like Amazon where you have real-time information on what's reserved, what's in stock, all of those kinds of things. So if you have somebody place an order with 2-day shipping and your supplier doesn't have it, you have to cancel that order on Amazon. That affects your metrics, and it's a whole kind of a nightmare. And we see every week a couple people in the Facebook group say, "Oh, I was drop shipping and I got my account banned." Because I had to cancel all these orders and I couldn't meet the metrics.
And they don't want that because it's a bad buyer's experience. So anytime you're gonna create a bad buyer's experience, or having again like these reviews come in, if you're doing that whole thing where they're all like fake reviews, and then like they don't want you to do things that are going to jeopardize the customer's experience and the trust in the platform. Bottom line. So don't do that. All right, cool. I just wanted to jump on here, Chris. You got anything else you want to wrap up with before we sign off?
Moral of the story, Scott, if I came to you today and I said, look, I could either do this drop shipping thing or I could do private label. I understand that you're the amazing seller. You're the Amazon FBA guy, right? What would your suggestion to me be?
Well,
should I start with drop shipping or should I start with private label?
Well, my first question would be, what is your goal in mind? Like, what are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to build a brand, or are you just trying to make, some extra cash? That would be my first question.
Let's say we're trying to build a brand.
Okay. Well, then to me, 100%, it would be going in on Amazon, but then starting, obviously doing what we have a 24-hour challenge where we have you kind of go out there, figure out kind of like the market, the products you're going to serve, all of that stuff. And then I would start to build out that, and I would launch my products first on Amazon, but I'd be building my email list. I'd be doing all that stuff. But that's what I would be doing, because I want to basically start where I'm going to end up anyway. If I'm drop shipping, the only reason why I would do drop shipping is if I found a company that I really loved that had a lot of great products that would serve the market that I'm going into, then naturally I would want to then offer those products to my, to my audience, or to my customer base or potential customer base. I would say also, if you're in, because a lot of people are thinking like, what's the quickest way to the money? Like a lot of people are thinking that. To me, honestly, if you're looking at just making some quick cash, just do some retail arbitrage. Like just go out there and flip product. Like go out there, go to garage sales, go to flea markets, go to all of those, discount stores and stuff, and just go flip product. Like just go make some cash. Like go out there, clean out your house, like list stuff on eBay. Doesn't even have to be on just Amazon, and you'll make $500. I can almost guarantee it that you'll make $500 if you just go and start doing that. That's what I would do. But if I had the choice, which I do, I would say I would start with Amazon, because I'm not necessarily starting with Amazon. I'm starting to sell my stuff on Amazon, but I'm really building the brand in a whole, or as a whole. And then I'm launching to the world on Amazon. Amazon is kind of like my Kickstarter in a sense, right? It's kind of like my Kickstarter of my brand. Like I want to get in front of eyeballs that I know that they're already there, and I'm able to validate and all that stuff on there as well. When I'm doing drop shipping, I don't know that those products are necessarily going to sell either, Chris. Like I don't know that, that garlic press that they sell is going to sell. I have to kind of figure that out on my own, unless someone gave me a tip, right? But with Amazon, I can go over there and kind of see for myself. Now I guess you could use Amazon as a research tool for your drop shipping and say, well, if something's selling, you could, I guess. But it seems like I would just start in the direction that I'm going to end up anyway. So that would be my recommendation, is to start there.
And I want to echo that too. I think dropshipping is okay if you do either higher end products. That's definitely fine. You can try that and go for it, because you have a little bit more margin to play with there. Keep in mind that it's
our example, Chris, our example, the kayak bass fishing example. Maybe it's a kayak bass, or maybe it's a kayak that you use for bass fishing. We're not going to probably source that. We're probably, now what I could do is if someone did on Amazon sell that already, I could then use my Amazon Associates link and make 4 to 8% on a sale that I would generate through that. Or I could find a drop shipper and possibly make 25 or 30%. Like that might work.
And here's the other thing that I'm kind of marinating on, and we might end up doing it in the new brand if we find some stuff that makes sense. But if we find complementary products and we're at the stage where we have our own e-commerce site and we're already driving traffic to it, to me, at that point, it might make sense. Let's just say we are selling, bass fishing nets and those kinds of things. It might make sense to add in a SKU or two that can make us $400 in profit if somebody buys one, right? And it's that kayak, the bass fishing kayak. I might make $400 on that, but it's not going to be the primary driver of stuff on my site. If it's going to benefit my audience, then it's worth having there. If we partner with somebody, we're probably not going to want to keep kayaks in inventory. So that would be where that would kind of make sense for me, where we're partnering with somebody and saying, hey, here's the one that we recommend. If you want it, go get it. You can buy it directly from us and we'll ship it directly to you. Right?
Yeah.
That's the kind of place where I see
that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And I also just want to, before we wrap up, I also wanted to just say, it's the same thing, kind of like when people think about Amazon is like you're competing with other people. Well, with dropshipping, you're competing with the exact same product and the same brand name. So you really have no advantage there other than if you can throw in a bonus or if you can throw in something or your brand behind it. So that's why I wouldn't even start there. Like you said, Chris, what I would do is I would see where is there other products that I could serve to my loyal following of my brand, and even just put them on my blog or my site or my e-commerce store, Shopify, whatever, and put them in there. And then people could buy, but I'm not really necessarily competing with other people on that as my main driver. I'm just using it as some filler product that people might want anyway. And I recommend that brand. It's kind of like I'm an affiliate for that drop shipper because I can't even say it's my product. I've got to say it's made by, Pro Bass or whatever, right? I have to say it's made by them. I can't even private label. I can't even say it's our brand. I can just say I'm a supporter of this brand. That's the ones that we recommend here, buy it through us or something, right? So that's what you would do there. So anyway, that's my last little bit of advice on that. So Chris, we good?
I think we're ready to wrap it up.
All right, cool. So guys, here's what I want to say here at this point. If you guys have any thoughts on this, any questions on this, drop them in the comments down below. We'll definitely be coming back here. If you guys want us to create anything new that maybe was during this session that you want us to elaborate more on, or even a different topic, let us know that in the comments as well. Also, I want to remind you, subscribe to the channel. You'll get updates like this, a live video that we're doing right here. You'll get notice of that, or you'll get notified of that. And you'll also be notified when we put up new videos, which we're going to be doing on a pretty regular basis now. So definitely subscribe to the channel, click on the subscribe button, but also click on that little bell. That way there, you'll definitely get notified of when we go live or when we post a new video. So Chris, I think that's going to wrap it up. Guys, have an awesome, amazing day. And as always, take action. We'll see you guys. Bye.